Joining me on the line, the undefeated, fresh off a victory over the weekend, Sarah Collins. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Now, mate, how does it feel to obviously get a victory at the Bellator level?
Still hasn't sunk in. And even when the rankings came out today, number 5 is just like mind blowing. I just didn't think this would happen so quickly, and yeah, I still don't believe it.
Now, obviously, Commonwealth Games in judo and whatnot. Was MMA always the goal?
Not always. I got a lot of injuries doing judo, and financially, it's a huge burden. So after a while, I made the decision to stop doing judo just because of injuries and how financially stressful it was. But I didn't feel like I'd finished competing, and I still wanted to do something. And I think then MMA was just like the easiest transition.
Speaking of kind of financial stress and working hard, training out of resilience. Obviously, over the weekend, Pam Morrison you took out, who's top of the food chain in terms of like knowing if you belong in mixed martial arts. Now you're also training to be a midwife, working 5 days a week at resilience as well as trying to get ready for this level of competition. Can you put into perspective just how hard the preparation is?
I was lucky this time that Daniel, who's my coach and my boss,
Dan Kelly.
allowed me to have yeah, allowed me to have some time off work. So, and it kind of worked out with uni. I didn't have much study for the first half of the year, so everything kind of just fell into place for the last 3 months, and I was able to just focus on the fight.
Now, being at an event at the level of Bellator, there'd be women over there and just fighters in general that are full time fighters. How do you feel that their prep is like sort of matched up to yours?
I feel like as long as I'm getting every session in that is on my list, and I'm ticking those boxes, that there's no reason that my prep isn't the same or just as good.
It sounds stupid, but do you even want to be a full time fighter, or do you think this is a nice balance?
I don't think I could just be a full-time fighter. I don't know. I always just need something else, and I don't know. I just can't stay at home. Like in between training sessions, I'm always out walking the dog or meal prepping or doing something. I don't know. I just can't sit still, and yeah, I need those extra things.
What's the love of midwifery about?
I've just always been interested in health care. I initially went to uni to be a nurse, and then decided to do a double degree with midwifery as well. And honestly, after the first birth that I went to, I was just in love with it. I think as a fighter, you're always chasing those little adrenaline rushes, and every time I see a birth, it's like the same thing. So yeah,
So you want to hurt people and then look after them.
yeah.
now, now you beat Pam, who's lost to Kat Zingano, who's like, I mean, probably going for a title shot. She's lost to Rousey. Rousey judo. Like, do you take a bit of? Was there a bit of inspiration there when Rousey was coming through the ranks?
Oh yeah, of course. I've always loved Rhonda. And I've always looked up to her. I was lucky enough to meet her when she came and fought in Melbourne, and she was super lovely and super nice. And I love seeing judo people succeed. So hopefully, I will be one of those judo people too.
And how much does the sport cross over into MMA? Like, what similarities are there, and what are some of the big differences? Obviously, bar the rule set.
Yeah, well, I feel like on the weekend in my fight, I only did judo, so um, that was a good crossover. Um, but yeah, I think judo out of all of the martial arts is the hardest to learn, so it's probably the best one to have a background in. I think once you can defend yourself striking, then all judo players should get into MMA.
And how much of the judo techniques, obviously without the gi or whatever you guys call it, kimono?
Okay, okay.
What do without that? How much is it hard to transition it to obviously without the gi?
It was at the start, but I have been doing it for a while now. So now a gi would probably feel more weird to me. So yeah, it just takes practice. I think. So it was hard at the start, but after a while, you just get used to it.
Now, world title in MMA or Olympic gold medal in judo?
Olympic gold medal in judo.
Okay. What if MMA was in the Olympics? Still judo?
Still judo, yeah.
Really? So still that real
Yeah.
love for judo no matter what.
Yeah. It'll always be my like number one little child.
Wow. And so MMA is like your little side quest.
Yep.
And I mean, you're not doing too bad at it either. Where do you feel like? I mean, you're 4-0 in MMA. Where do you feel like you sit in the world of women's mixed martial arts?
I have massive imposter syndrome at the moment. And I feel like I don't belong there at all. And I should just be fighting in Australia still. So there's that I have to overcome. So when yeah, maybe in a couple of months I'll re-answer that question with something.
I mean, being number 5, it's hard to be an imposter at number 5. But look, how did the Bellator fight even come about? Because you fought, I think it was Hex, Eternal, like you bounced around from each promotion. How did the Bellator fight even come about?
Yeah, so after my last fight on Eternal, we kind of just like there's just no like the depth in Australia and New Zealand is so small, like it was just really hard to get another fight. So we looked internationally, and my good friend Cal emailed a lot of people and he tried really hard. And I just couldn't get any fights. So I had to get a manager who then helped me get the Bellator contract.
Callum Potter?
Yeah, your mate Cal Potter. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he tried, but it was unsuccessful, so I had to get a manager.
I mean, he got himself in the UFC, so that's
Yeah,
always.
Is it?
Is it? Does it feel weird? Because like you mentioned the imposter sort of syndrome, but the talent pool is very shallow in Australia, but that doesn't mean that the girls at the top aren't any good. It's just there's so few and far between to get those fights. Is there anyone in Australia that you wish you got a fight with?
Not that I can think of. I feel like anyone who was around my size, I fought. Can you think of anyone?
I can't, and that's
Yeah.
I guess the real issue, because then you go to Bellator, right? You're probably like, what? Talk us through the thought process of like, are you going, holy shit, like I was fighting an Eternal and now I'm at Bellator.
Yeah, for sure. I was like going into fight week and I have this schedule of photo shoots and stuff. I was like, what happened to the good old days of Eternal? I rock up the day before the competition and weigh in and then we fight. But no, I had a full schedule of things to do this week or last week and it was very different.
And what type of media events are? Because I'm assuming you don't have to sell your own tickets at Bellator like you do for the Australia regional scene.
No, I didn't have to sell any tickets, thank goodness. I don't think anyone would have come all the way to California to watch me anyway.
And is it like, did it take away any of the prep for you? Did you feel like, oh, I can't go through my normal routine of getting ready for competition because of the media?
No, I didn't. Nah, not really. The big thing was I haven't traveled for sport for quite a while. Like I haven't traveled for judo since 2015, I think it is. So I think the hardest part for me was just the traveling and getting used to the jet lag and getting in that competition mindset when you're in a hotel and you can't cook for yourself and you got like this fight week meal prep that you need to do and there's no kitchen. So that was probably the hardest part.
We talk about your imposter syndrome. If you got a fight with, say, like a Kat Zingano now, how do you think you go?
I don't know. I would hope that I would win. I feel like she's getting to the end of her career. She wasn't that impressive against Leah. I mean, she was still amazing. And I really look up to Kat Zingano. I thought Leah won the fight. And I think hopefully I'd be able to beat her.
I think in questions like that, do you think you can be the best in the world?
I hope so. Maybe.
I like that you could be standing there.
I want to be.
You could be standing there with a world title being like, I don't know if I deserve this. It's
yeah.
It's great. Now, in the preparation, you talked about obviously love for resilience. Cal Potter that's there, and obviously Dan Kelly was over with you. Can you talk about how instrumental Dan Kelly's been now? Obviously a UFC vet, Australian MMA Hall of Fame if we had one. How instrumental Dan Kelly has been for you?
Yeah, well, he was probably the reason why I even decided to do MMA. I remember I was out to breakfast with him one morning because we have breakfast together every Wednesdays.
Is that
And
at
I
the Third
was
Wave Cafe?
no,
Oh, okay, because Cal
no,
Potter hit me up about that.
no. Third wave is like if you want to eat 10,000 calories in one sitting.
Okay.
We go to our local little cafe, Alpha, and we have breakfast every Wednesday. And I had decided to finish judo, and I said, I think I want to have an MMA fight. And then his eyes lit up, and I was like, oh, we're just like seeing how things go here. Like, I'm not talking about chasing no world titles, we're just seeing how it goes. And then all of a sudden, this big plan was put into place about how I would actually like get here. So
And has he had
it's
to?
been great.
I mean, you talk about the feeling like you don't belong sometimes. Does Dan Kelly have to hype you up?
Yeah, I try not to show it that I don't belong. I try and put on like a straight face and be like, yeah, I'm here, let's do this. So he doesn't have to hype me up too bad, but yeah, he definitely is good at reassuring me that this is the place where I'm meant to be and helping me
Yeah.
through that.
I guess one of the main things is what I want out of you, and what the people probably want to know is when's your next fight? What fight do you want next? Who do you want? Do you think you could? I mean, it's early on, but do you think you could challenge for a belt like right now? Like, do you have that?
I don't want to fight Cyborg just yet. I do one day, always like being in the same weight division as her, and from like the start of my career, it's always been like, yeah, one day we're going to fight Cyborg, and I think that would be amazing. But I don't want that for my next fight. I think there is a Bellator card in September in Ireland, and I would love to get on that. There's two Irish girls who are above me in the rankings, Sinead and Leah, and I would happily fight either one of them. So I think that's the best answer I can give.
I do like that. Now, are you under contract with Bellator? Is there X amount of
Yeah.
fight deals? What are you working with?
Yeah, so I'm on a 4-fight contract or 18 months, whichever one comes first.
Oh, okay, cool. And is Bellator somewhere obviously you want to stay and make your name?
Oh yeah, of course. Bellator has the best featherweight division in the world. So this is definitely where I want to be.
Awesome. And before I let you go, I just want to ask you one question, which is after this is all said and done, how does Sara Collins want to be remembered in mixed martial arts?
For big judo throws and Kazakatamis.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I've never met someone so confident and scared at the same time. It's
That's actually how I would describe myself for sure.
the most confident, scared person ever. I'm the world champion, or am I? I'm not sure. No.
Yeah. You know what was funny? I was walking out to the like we were backstage, walking out to the fight, like behind like going down the stairs and through the tunnels, and I started freaking out because I hadn't had my Red Bull yet, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot my Red Bull. I'm not gonna win. I'm not gonna be able to go 15 minutes because I didn't have a Red Bull. Like this is the sort of stuff that goes through my head.
Well, you didn't. I mean, you won in like
Yeah,
2.5
didn't have
minutes.
to.
So yeah, so that's no more Red Bulls, and you can win
Yeah.
quicker.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Sara. Australia's behind you, of course, as always, and can't wait to chat again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. See ya.